Good evening, everyone. How y'all doing? I'm your host, Len Dorman, right here on Southern Five Paranormal Podcast. We have a guest. I was on his show just a few weeks ago, and he's returning the favor to appear on mine. So we'll bring him on right here in a few minutes. But first, we got to get some stuff out of the way. Let's go ahead and throw up the number one picture. Yeah, Voices from Beyond. New Orleans Paranormal Society. Tell you something about them. They do tours in New Orleans, but they do not show you a haunted house and say, hey, this house is haunted. They do not take you inside the house and say, this house is haunted. Let's move on. Walk with me. They don't do that. They would take you into a haunted location, put a piece of paranormal equipment in your hand, and say, this place is haunted. Here's the name of the spirit. Happy contacts. And you find yourself on a for real ghost hunt. Here is their contact number, the address. If you're going down to New Orleans and you want a real paranormal experience put forward by experienced paranormal investigators with over 700 ghost hunts under their belts, give these people a call. New Orleans Paranormal. Now, I tell you a little something about what they're going to do. Go ahead and show up the picture 6, the poster. Yeah, this is what they're going to be doing. All these people around here, the Andrew Jackson Hotel and the Voodoo House. I'll tell you a little something about them. I've been to both locations. I spent 2 nights in the Andrew Jackson Hotel investigating it day and night. The place has several rooms that are haunted. They will take you in there, and you will be there with some stars. You see the superstars lined up, especially our own CEO, Litriana Terry Brown. Of course, John Zaffis, everybody knows him. Ron Lords, they will also be there. And we'll also have some new paranormal equipment from Digital Dowsing. The Voodoo House, you will go behind where the Voodoo House is to an old slave location. It is creepy. It's got a well out back, and sometimes you can see shadow figures and other things moving around back there. It is creepy. I've gone back there. I've investigated there. They have a table that's a little bit too high to eat on. It looks like an altar. An altar in the middle of New Orleans behind the voodoo shop. That's what it looks like. They'll put you there. Although they don't normally take their regular tours back there because it is too intense. I've been there, done that. It is interesting. By the way, I will also be there and want to show up the picture with Gail and I and our little purple car. We will be headed down to New Orleans. We're going to be down there Monday before the event. Of course, the event is starting July 31st, August 1st and 2nd. We will be heading down there Monday before in the hotel, and we're staying and we're not checking out till Tuesday, a couple of days after the event. So we will see you there. I will be recording a lot of the ghost hunts, especially with Lee at the voodoo shop and in the Andrew Jackson, since I'm quite intimately familiar with both locations. And you'll actually see a ghost hunt live on All Access Network TV. Let's go ahead and run the video, New Orleans Paracon. Roll this sweet buddy. Little New Orleans jazz for you while you're looking at everybody appearing at the Paracon. Packages are still available. Platinum is still available. This is kind of expensive one, $500 per person. You get to spend the weekend in Patty Negre, Pamela Puches, and Father Sebastian. Sorry, the one with Father Sebastian, the RIP package, is sold out. That's sold out within about 3 or 4 days of its offering. All right, throw the bat video, number 4. Sold out.
夜明けが迫り来る招かさる感情を真空の逆流に私は酔いしれた心臓から
Everybody needs to have their fangs ready to go. Anyway, we're going to go ahead and open the show. Then we're going to bring out Jeremy Burton after we do the intro. Tonight, producer, we are going to play the opening of the door. So let's do it. There's a picture from the Andrews Jackson Hotel. All right, our guest tonight, Jeremy, is the host of The Common Historian, a twice-weekly paranormal history interview podcast and YouTube channel where history meets the supernatural. It was 2 years of living in a genuinely haunted house that set him on this path, an experience that turned a lifelong passion for history into something far more personal. Every week, he sits down with paranormal investigators, haunted location owners, authors, and researchers to uncover the dark intersections between our past and the unexplained. With a BA in history and over a decade of professional interviewing experience, Jeremy doesn't just tell the stories, he digs into them, asking the questions that pull listeners deeper and deeper and deeper and deeper into the shadows where history refuses to stay buried. Please welcome to the show, Jeremy Brunton.
Hey, Len. Thanks for having me.
Hey, I appreciate you being here. And appreciate Greg watching. He says, yeah, anybody going to New Orleans? Just to meet Bill. He's my other half. She's my lifeline, and we've been married almost 25 years.
Very nice.
So, what's new with you?
Oh, not too much. I'm heading to New Orleans, but at the end of the month, but not about a month, a little over a month early than for the Paracon. But going for a work trip there. I'll be there for 2 nights, and I'm actually staying, I think, at a haunted hotel. From what I can tell, the Mercantile. Yeah.
The Mercantile?
Yeah.
You're staying there?
I'm staying there.
Cool.
That's where my work ended up. That's where they
Before you go to bed at night, have some take some equipment with you, whatever you like to use.
Yeah.
Turn off the lights and try to feel out what's in the room with you, because I almost guarantee you something is.
Oh yeah. I was reading on their website that they were haunted. I hadn't really looked into them before, but it was a coincidence. My work, it's near the conference center that our Ed Tech conference is going to be at, and so they picked that. The funny thing is, my boss is not into the haunted at all, and I told him, I said, you know that the hotel is haunted. He actually went and changed his hotel. he's staying somewhere else.
I'm sorry, that's funny.
It was, but you know, I told him not to change mine. I was perfectly fine staying there. So
where is he staying?
I can't remember where he told me. I looked, and it wasn't. He made me check it out to make sure there was no haunted claims to it. So I can't remember.
There's probably some ghosts roaming around the hallway they don't want to talk about.
Yeah,
there are some hotels down there that do not want to talk about their haunts.
Yeah. Oh, I know. I that's what I was thinking to myself. I was like, he probably just got one that they don't want to talk about it.
Right.
But
this is a French Quarter. This is New Orleans. This is a hotel located there. It's probably haunted.
Oh yeah.
And good day to our Australian friends from down under.
Hey, Christy.
So, what did you want to talk about tonight? Let's get started with where people can find you. You've got such an interesting show. Where can people find it?
Well, the main episodes are always on YouTube. Just go to YouTube and at the Common Historian. It should pick that right up there. I'm also on TikTok, Instagram, Facebook under Jeremy Brunton, or I have the Common Historian Facebook group. I just recently started a Threads. Trying that new thing out. Have you tried that yet?
No, I have not tried out Threads yet.
It's interesting. I'm gaining the second post I did on there got like 8,000 views, so I was excited. And it was my first or second one. It was just an introduction. I just said, "Hey, I'm Jeremy, the Common Historian." Blah 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 blah, and it had 8K views on that thread, and I gained like 300 followers or whatever they call them on there, which was kind of cool.
Cool. I'll have to check that out.
Yeah, it was interesting. It was showing up everywhere. Like, you scroll Facebook and it was there, because I think Facebook owns it. I'm pretty sure it's their answer to X, I believe, or Twitter or whatever they call that now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, Christy, you hadn't seen me before, Christy? Trying to follow some of the comments down there. Yeah, but no,
I think Christy likes following good-looking men with goatees.
Oh. But no, yeah, I'm all on there. The Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, and all of them. I usually do shorts on. A lot of the short videos I put on those platforms, and then the long form's always on the YouTube. So
I have not done any shorts yet. I just wear them.
Well, it's good, especially on YouTube. It's good to do those because they seem to get a lot more views, and my goal is always to draw it to the main video. I take little short sections of the interview, put it on there, and I put a link to the main video in the description. The goal is to try to get them to go over and watch the full one.
Take a look at Chris's last two comments.
But yeah, that's funny. But no, I'm. Christy likes watching the shorts on YouTube. I do YouTube shorts. Well, I like watching some of the YouTube shorts, but I actually, for scroll wise, you have showing your shorts.
Yeah, there's my shorts for Christy.
I find myself though, like scrolling through the Facebook reels more than I do the YouTube short videos. But
actually, I just hadn't got into it. That's something I need to do, actually, is do a few shorts. I'd like to get into Threads and some of the other things. Instagram, I got an account there. I don't do much with it.
I throw up one short video on there for each episode, usually. Oh, she likes your legs.
Mm-hmm.
But
hello, Raven Wolf.
Hey, Raven.
You know Raven, don't you?
Yeah. She's been on my show too. I've had lots of different guests on my show. A lot of them from the All Access Network. Rez will actually be on this coming Saturday. his episode will be airing. So you guys,
are you still doing 2 shows a week or just one?
I am. I'm thinking about possibly when I'm in New Orleans later this month, I might not have a Wednesday show, but I'm currently still doing the 2. Really considering maybe cutting back to 1, or doing 1 recorded and 1 possibly live. I might try out do some live maybe this summer. Haven't decided for sure yet though. I know I'd like to go all live. I just have not had much luck with going live on YouTube. I don't know if anyone else has had any of this issue, but I've tried to go live on YouTube and it's really like, I know my internet's not bad, but it seems like I'm really laggy on YouTube, but I can go live on TikTok or Facebook and have no issue. So I don't know what the issue is with going live on YouTube, but it doesn't like me.
I have never gone live on strictly YouTube. Everything's like this show. I go through StreamYard first, and then go on YouTube.
Yeah, and I think, what did I do? I think I went through either StreamYard or did I go live through Zoom? One of the 2. But it was really laggy, and I didn't stay on. I was just kind of testing it to see, and Facebook seems fine, TikTok is fine, but YouTube I have no luck with.
That's strange.
Yeah. So that's what's kind of holding me back from going completely live with my interviews. So
I'll tell you what, when you're down in New Orleans, go ahead and crank up a little bit of live for your shorts. All you got to do, people will watch it if you're just walking down the street on Bourbon Street.
True. Yeah.
Look out. There's always crazy stuff. Remember what I told you about the shoes. Wear good, solid shoes, no flip-flops, no Crocs.
Yeah.
Try not to step in the water. You don't want to splash it on your legs.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you can't. There's some weird stuff going on. There's characters down there, no telling how they're going to be dressed, what they're going to be doing.
Yeah, I'll be there. It'll be midweek. I'm going to be there from Tuesday night to Thursday afternoon. So, but I'm looking forward to going. I've never been. So, I said that, once I get done my conference, I'm going to go and at least walk around and see things.
But instead of going down Bourbon Street, go over to Royal. Yeah, that's your less touristy stuff and more of the better music.
The better music
is on Royal. Now, watch out for the strip clubs on Bourbon Street. Those are old buildings, old houses, old mansions. And if you're not careful, especially during the week when there's not a whole lot going on, the strippers will drag you into the courtyard, which is the New Orleans version of the champagne room.
Oh.
you get kidnapped back there into one of the courtyards. You might not come out for a while.
Oh. But no, I think it'll be fun. My first time going to New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
Would have been nice if it would have been, like a month later.
But if you got the money, contact Chris and Jennifer and go either to the Voodoo House or a lot of times it's both of them, the Voodoo House and Andrew Jackson, and give you at least about an hour inside Andrew Jackson. Okay.
Yeah, I'll have to look into it. I'm still trying to figure out the schedule of my work conference on how much time I'll have in the evening. But I do need to book whatever I'm going to do that night. So.
And go down to Lafitte's. And have a purple drink.
Have a purple drink?
Drink, not a drink. Do not ask for a drink.
Oh, drink.
Drink, DRANK. Ask for a purple drink. and sit on the side of the fireplace away from the bar.
Away from the bar.
Right there in front of the fireplace. And be real quiet. Sometimes John Lafitte will appear between that table right in front of the fireplace and the fireplace itself. Leading to get some mantle.
Oh, very nice. Yeah, I'll have to check that out.
You can go across the street to the John Lafitte Hotel, and that place is haunted by a mother and child going down the steps. And they will give you a nice little tour of the place if they're not, checking anybody in or out.
Yeah.
They've got now Lafitte's is obviously, it looks like a, what do you say, shady bar?
Yeah.
Because it is a very old building. The hotel has a very nice bar in it.
Oh.
So you can go back there and go to a nicer bar.
Yeah.
Because that's the other version of the Lafitte bar. So you can go there and check out the staircase. Maybe ride the elevator to the second floor. It's a very old elevator.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, and that's an experience in itself.
Yeah, that would be cool. But yeah, I think it's gonna be a good time. I know the first night I'm not getting in till late. It'll be, what time do I get in that first night? I think it's like 10:30.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's a late. I'm doing it's a late one. I think I'm stopping in. I don't even know where. I didn't even look at where. I have a layover, but can't remember where. I haven't checked that out that closely yet, but I was excited over the Mercantile being the place where I get to stay. So that's going to be a fun 2 nights of.
Mm-hmm. You can very easily have a paranormal experience right there in your own room.
Yep. Yeah.
That's a nice thing about ghost hunting in New Orleans. You can ghost hunt and nobody even knows you're doing it. And it's not going to cost you a dime. You're staying there in the hotel. Most hotels will let you walk around.
Yeah.
If you got one camera and just kind of walk around around the hotel.
Yeah. Yeah. So I imagine I'll probably try to do that. And, I'm going to bring some of my basic stuff. Well, what was it? A couple weeks ago, I went to the Wildwood Sanitarium. I don't know if have you ever been up north with?
I've never been there.
It's a great place. Loved it. Me and the Misfits Paranormal crew, we went there. It was in mid-May. Spent the night. It was cool. I went TikTok live. They really, spirits there like the cat balls. It was my first actual official paranormal investigation. And
poor cats.
Well, yeah, there's a ghost cat at the Wildwood as well. But it's just so cool when you before I went on Facebook Live, I put the cat ball on this table. I stomped all around we were in the cellar. And I make sure that the walking wouldn't make the cat ball go off. And I was TikTok live, and I was, I asked them to touch the cat ball, and it went off almost on command, live on TikTok, which was cool. That was the coolest part of the whole night. We got some other evidence. I think the Misfits are going to, and I are going to be doing a kind of a evidence reveal show at some point in the next couple of weeks, I believe. So, anticipating that'll come out probably sometime in July. So, but it was an awesome night. That's an awesome place. You just have a vibe there. So yeah, I love that place. I definitely recommend it to anyone that hasn't been. And the history the history there is great, and you just get a peaceful feel there. It's not like it's, I was not like spooked or scared at all the whole night. I slept in between the seance room and the doll room, and didn't bother me one bit because I did fall asleep.
Oh.
We tried to stay up, but I did fall asleep, and I think it was like maybe 2, 3 in the morning.
It takes an experienced ghost hunter to fall asleep in a haunted location. The rookies don't do that.
Well, I lived in a haunted house for 2 years, so it was even
That's
though
what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I slept in a haunted house for 2 years, so sleeping in that one was not. I still have to go through. I did keep my phone recording, by my bed all night, and I've only went about an hour in so far. In the evidence, so I want to see if I caught anything, while I was sleeping, but still have another like 3-4 hours left to go through in that. So
isn't it kind of creepy watching yourself sleep?
Yeah. Well, no, all I did was put the recorder on. I just was recording.
Okay.
Yeah, it wasn't me actually. I didn't record myself. It was just I was just trying to see if anyone. I snore, so see if anyone maybe told me to shut up or something. But
that would be amusing.
It would be. I'm hoping that one of them did tell me to shut up or something. But yeah, it was I had a great time. It was great. And yeah, I think I lasted about 2:30 in the morning, but then I was up at 7. It was like 7 o'clock. I was up. But no, it was a fun time. I recommend that place to anybody. The Wildwood, they were great. Zach gave us a tour when we first got there. And it was really great. So
go ahead and name the location again in case somebody missed it.
The Wildwood Sanitarium in Salmonica. I don't know if I'm saying it right. Salmonica, New York.
That's their website too, isn't it?
Yeah, the Wildwood Sanitarium. But yeah, they're a great location. It used to be a kind of holistic medicine type place, and then the state made it become a tuberculosis hospital. And then this is the very high overview of the history. And then after that, it did, I believe, become apartments for many years. It was like 3 apartments. So but yeah.
Can you imagine living in those apartments?
Oh, living in one of those. Yeah, that would be interesting. But they've done a great job restoring it. There's still, I think, some work they're working on. But it just has a nice feel to it, and great. It's a great place. Nothing but good words for that place. I definitely want to go back.
good people running it.
Yes. So
are they putting their money they made back into the building?
Yeah, I believe that they have the restoration project. They also have a food pantry out front for the community.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So yeah. And I know that they're trying to there's an old building in the back of it that they're hoping to restore that next. I think it was like an old either garage or barn. So they're hoping to. I know that they had mentioned that. I think Zach had mentioned that during the tour that they're hoping to get that restored at some point. So, but yeah, I recommend that place. other than that, you know, I've just been interviewing people.
Who's been on the show you past couple months?
I've had, let me see, Raven Wolf has been on. I had Larry and Brittany, or Larry Eisler and Brittany. They've been on. Trying to think. I've had so many people that I can't. There's I should know them. I should know these by heart, but you know, when I come to think of them, I can't think of it. But sorry about that. I'm pulling it up. It's awful.
You cover all subjects, don't you?
What's that?
UFOs, aliens.
Oh yeah, I go anything supernatural. I've, you know, dove into the aliens, the cryptids. I had Ron Murphy. We talked about lake monsters. That's Ron Murphy Jr. He has a book that he wrote about lake monsters in the Great Lakes, and so he came on. We talked about Nessie, Champ, and all the lake monsters from the Great Lakes. Who else did I have recently? I'm cheating. Because I'm also I forget names very quickly. So
do I, Tommy. I'll wait here.
I had Stephen LaChance on a couple months ago.
Stephen LaChance.
He has one of his first books was the Screaming House.
Okay.
Yeah.
I couldn't place it for a second.
And he had Zombie Road. And he has a bunch of them out. My most recent guest, the episode that's out right now is Scott Baker. He does kind of the paranormal, supernatural books, and he has some that are kind of. I think he has a book that's like based in Salem, and then he has a bunch of other. So his episode's out right now. Trying to think of some of the other ones that I've had a bunch of different investigators on recently. Just looking here. 222. Oh, I did a special for we kind of went into the missing for Missing Children's Day. That was last month. I think it was the 24th of May is National Missing Children's Day. So me and the guy from Vermont Haunts looked at kind of dove into some of the missing person and missing children cases from Vermont. A lot of them are around the Bennington Triangle. One was actually one I had never heard of until this show. I lived in the town. I grew up in the town right before it, but it happened like 100 years before I was born. But it was like in the 1800s. A little 5 or 6 year old girl went missing, and she went into the woods and never came back, and they never found her.
Oh wow!
Anything. They don't know what had happened to her. And like the official report was that a bear got her, but they never found anything. So it was kind of weird, but we did, I go into a variety of different things. I've talked about vampires on my show. I did a whole show on vampires on Valentine's Day. So kind of themed it. So yeah, I go into a lot of different things. I've also Dennis Carroll Dr. Dennis Carroll has came on. We've talked about Jack the Ripper, and he had done some research on that, and he had a few different theories as well, kind of supernatural theories. So we kind of dove into those, and then there's so many. Oh, I had Dan Kloss from the Hinsdale House on a couple weeks ago as well, the owner of the Hinsdale House, and that was a great episode. Absolutely loved that one.
Have you ever been there?
No, I didn't get a chance to go. It's right near Wildwood. It's like maybe 15-20 minutes from Wildwood, but we never got to go there. But it is on my list that I do want to go to eventually. What I'm trying to think, who else there's been tons of people that have been on my show. I'm probably missing a ton of them as well. Jeremy Cotter's been on, Nate, and Morgan. I've had her on. And actually, one of my more unique guests that I probably had on was I don't know if he's not a Buddhist monk, but he's from, I believe it's Thailand. And he's one of my friends for one of the political games that I played. And we talked about like kind of the differences between, paranormal in the United States and the paranormal over there. And it was really interesting. That episode's done very well for me. It was something unique. And he's actually talked about maybe coming back on. So, and we'll explore some other topics because there's such a big difference between the East and the West when it comes to the paranormal and all of that. So, he actually showed he made this, I don't know I can't remember what he calls it, but, it's like a little circle and it supposedly, I guess, can catch spirits. And he showed it like on camera. It was cool. I don't know if it's not a talisman. I can't remember what he called it. But it was
a dream catcher.
It was almost like that. But he called it something else.
Okay.
But it basically could catch spirits. And then he told me about one of his paranormal experiences that he had, which made him a true believer. And it was a great episode.
Sounds like fun.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I had a great time with that one. So fingers crossed he'll be back on at some point soon. Because I think that we can explore some other topics that would interest people. So, it might have been
the Divot Box.
Yeah, it might have been that. Yes, I think that might have been what it was. I can't think of what he called it. It's been a couple months now since I interviewed him. But it was fascinating. It's on the channel. But yeah, he's Master Wonsung. I think that's his name. Well, his YouTube name. So, but yeah, I've had I had the pleasure of having Jeff Ballinger on for my Christmas special last year. That was great. We talked about, all the kind of old Christmas, before Santa and the commercialization all the different kind of tales from the different countries around the world. So that was fascinating. I love diving into different aspects of the paranormal, supernatural, on my shows. I feel like I try to, with my podcast, I'm collecting stories. It's going to be more than likely, that they'll be still available long after I'm gone. And it's collecting, stories from people who have lived different things, and they're able to tell their story on my show. That's the big thing that I kind of really take pride in when getting my guests on and having them open up about, what they've experienced, because I love hearing about experiences.
Well, I was happy to share a few of my experiences when I was on your show.
Oh yeah, you shared quite a bit, and then that was I love that. I do have to tell you about this. The one thing I did have to do, YouTube gave me a strike or warned me. One of the music from one of the ads that we put up, I had to mute it because they were going to give me a strike if I didn't.
Okay.
I had to mute the music that was in it because it said it came up as copyright. So, and even though
they do that,
and I think you even kind of said something on there before we played the thing, but they didn't. I guess they didn't care.
They don't care.
So all I did was just mute the music, so that people could still see everything. It's just the music was muted for that part. But that was the first time I'd had that happen. It was kind of weird, and they don't really warn you. I kind of came upon it. I was doing something, and it came up, and I was like, oh well. It said it gave me options of what I wanted to do, and I was like, oh, I'll just mute the music, and it went away. So,
do you know much about Bigfoot?
Not a lot. Some, I personally think it's interdimensional. It's my, I think that's why we've never found a body. But I haven't went deep into Bigfoot.
The reason I asked was because since I was on your show, I was outside. Don't ask me. This is the country. About 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning during the week. There was no activity. Hadn't had a car go by since probably 8 o'clock in the evening. And no birds were up yet. There was just no sound whatsoever. And you've heard Stevie Nicks songs, right?
Yeah.
Some of her, when she's like, go ahead and hold me, or whatever the name of that song is.
Yeah, I think so.
And she's got the little piece of hollow wood.
Yeah.
That she's hitting on. And it's going, not, to the theme of the music.
Yeah.
It sounded like that.
Oh.
And it came from a direction where behind the person's trailer across the street from me, and there's nothing behind him but a creek, some woods, and you do have a road. You go far enough back there.
Oh. So, yeah, I'm not sure if that's something that Bigfoot, has been reported for Bigfoot. But it possibly could be.
I've heard they sometimes hit branches or something, and the sound could have been transmitted by hitting there with a stick and finding a hollow log or a hollow stick of some sort and hitting the hollow stick.
Yeah. Yeah. So that could have been that sound. That makes sense.
I was going to some kind of warning because I was the only life form I could see or hear.
Wow.
And maybe I was wondering if they were down by that creek, and if they were standing up high enough at the creek. There's a little wall back there to keep the neighbor's yard from washing down into the creek.
Yeah.
If the creature was tall enough, could have looked over there and saw, because I was doing some burning, saw the fire, obviously.
Yeah.
And saw there was a human standing in front of the fire and gave some kind of warning.
Oh, maybe. That would make sense. Yeah. Something strange that happened to me this week. My wife and daughter were gone, and I work from home most of the time. And I was working, and my two dogs were sleeping in the living room, and all of a sudden I heard what sounded like my wife, like, say something. My wife and daughter were gone, though. The dogs heard it too. They went wild, but it sounded like it was just like right here.
Oh, wow.
But it sounded just like my wife's voice. Never had that happen before. I haven't had that happen since, but it was so weird because the dogs went wild. They heard it too.
Wow. And one was spirit just decided to say hello.
Yeah. But it sounded just like my wife. It was so weird.
Oh, wow. Could have been a female spirit of some sort.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. I know that, you know, this house, I think, has possibly, I've seen a, you know, outline of a ghostly man coming out of my garage about a year ago. And occasionally we hear things here or there, but it's not, you know, anything as that I lived in about 20 years ago. But that was weird. I'd never had, you know, anything. It sounded like it was like yelling in my ear.
Wow.
So strange. The only other thing that last weekend, I think it was, last weekend I was upstairs. I was changing the cat litter, and they everybody else was down here. Our cat was downstairs. There was no one in my daughter's room, but I heard something drop, like to the point that I went into the room because I thought something had fallen down. Nothing fell down.
Was it a loud crash or what?
Yeah, it was a loud crash. It sounded like her PlayStation or something had fallen. And I went in there and there was nothing.
Oh, wow.
And there was nothing in the room either. Just a couple of weird things. My wife tells me that it's because I bring home souvenirs from the places I go to that I probably am attracting it. I do buy something from the Wildwood. I have a piece of Wilson's Castle. You know, I collect them. So, you know, maybe, but
I do not collect haunted objects just for that reason.
Oh, that's the reason. The reason you don't like. But you know, if they're just gonna yell in my ear and, you know, occasionally make a noise, I'm fine with that.
Yeah. I was gonna wake you up in the middle of the night with doing it.
Yeah. As long as they're not waking me up or keeping me up, I'm perfectly fine with that. You know, the haunted house I lived in 20 years ago, you know, we heard it sound like dancing upstairs, babies crying, there was knocking, phantom footsteps. I saw full body apparitions. Not all the time, but you know, I saw at least 2 or 3 in the 2 years I lived there. One of them I actually thought was my wife's grandmother.
Oh, wow.
That's how real it looked. We were, I think, outside, and my daughter was just a little baby, and my wife's grandmother actually lived with us for a little while. And so I went in to check on my daughter, and by the crib was a little old lady. I thought it was my wife's grandmother, and as I walked in, I said, "Oh, Grandma, you're checking on Jazzy?" And as I was saying this, and I got to almost to the crib, and there was no one there.
Oh, wow.
It was Grandma was in the bathroom. She wasn't in the bedroom.
So she had a doppelganger in front of you.
Or that. But I did see that old lady one other time when she wasn't living there. So I believe there was a little old couple that used to live at that house before we had rented it. And previous to, many years before. I'm pretty sure it was her from doing a little bit of research, but pretty sure that's who that particular ghost was. But there was many different ones. There was a couple shadow figures that we saw every so often. In the cellar, there was a grumpy spirit. He wasn't. I never saw him, but he was grumpy. So
grumpy in life, grumpy in death.
Yeah.
That's where a lot of people. This is just an opinion, a theory that you said talking about a grumpy ghost. I think there are some ghosts that like to think themselves as a demon, try to act like a demon, and they're just an unhappy, uncooperative spirit, and they come all sounding and acting like a demon, and everybody says, okay, oh my God, it's a demon. Yeah. No, it's just either angry or depressed or whatever spirit.
Well, he was the one of them, the one spirit that could actually like really get like make things cold. It felt really cold when you would go, like you could tell, and it was a cellar, but still it was a cold. It was in the middle of the summer. Yes, it gets a little colder down cellar, but it doesn't get that cold, and every hair on your body get. I had to go down there in the middle of the night, like 3 a.m. And of course, it's an old farmhouse, and you had to go pull the string in the middle of the cellar to turn the light on. It was, needless to say, I did it and told my wife I was never going down cellar in the middle of the night ever again. That was the only time I think I've really I was actually scared. Which the other spirits in the house really didn't frighten me. So
it's not the spirits that usually frighten me. It's the thought that there may be a living person in the building with me.
True. Yeah, that would be scarier. Yeah. No, but that's the only time that I really got freaked out was the cellar. Upstairs, when it was just me, my wife, and my daughter living there, I basically went up and I said, well, you guys stay upstairs. We'll stay downstairs. And that actually worked pretty well. I wouldn't go up there after dark. It was one of my wife's cousins came up to get a dress that she needed, and it was up in the back closet. I said, I'm not going up there. And she didn't know that it was haunted. We didn't, because back then we didn't really want to say too much because it wasn't, like it is now where, it's widely accepted. So we just let her go up, and she was like, when she came back down, she says, something touched me up there. I was like, well, I don't know if my wife told her or not, but I think she just brushed it off. But yeah, we knew. It was nighttime, and I wasn't going upstairs. But that was before I was in the paranormal. Too much. We got kind of used to it after a while. When you live at a house, it's not like what you see on the TV, where you're running out every day, scared to death. After a while, you kind of get used to it.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't have any, I don't know if you can get used to a haunted house, but you coexist with it.
Yeah, you coexist with it. When I first moved to Chicago, I was living with the about to be wife, Gail, and she told me that they had a spirit in the house. He wasn't too rambunctious. You see a shadow figure walking up and down the hallway, and he finally made some noise because he was trying to get my attention specifically.
Yeah.
And because I had a real creepy feeling going downstairs into the basement, just an unnatural, creepy feeling. And he was trying to draw me downstairs and to a certain spot where it was cold, creepy feeling. And I started digging through what was there, a stack of stuff, and pulled out a painting. And it's one that this guy had painted.
Oh.
The last one left in the house.
Wow.
So I put it on display upstairs, and the creepy feeling in the basement stopped completely.
Yeah.
A lot of the appearances in the hallway stopped. The only time he really registered his appearance there, being there, was when another spirit approached the painting. Had child spirit approach it once, and he stomped on the floor.
Trying to scare the child away?
Yes, trying to scare the child away from the painting. It worked. Child backed off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was with a friend downstairs in the living room, and the wife was upstairs, and I thought she had stomped on it, and I realized she was at the other end of the house.
Wow.
And she thoroughly denied stepping. She heard it. She thought we had banged something.
Wow. Yeah. Sometimes they're just trying to get a message out to you.
Mm-hmm. And that's what he was trying to do. I finally comprehended the message and did what he wanted me to do, and everybody was happy.
Yeah. Yeah. Sometimes that's all it takes.
Yeah. Something simple.
Yep. But no, that was the house, that haunted house. There was, I think a lot of it came from the cemetery that was near there. It was near the Catholic Church, and the old cemetery was behind. There was another cemetery just up the road. I think a lot of it possibly came from there. And because I couldn't find anything really compelling in the history of the house that would have, attracted that many spirits. So
that's what I think happens here when I do a Echo Box session, sometimes on Saturday night at midnight, my midnight special show. I try to, sometimes they tell me there's 8 to 10 spirits in my living room.
No. Wow.
And this house has absolutely no history. In fact, most of the people, I think everybody who's ever lived in this house is still alive.
Oh. Yeah. So
the house was built originally in 85. The guy that built it, he's still around, even though he divorced his wife. They're both still alive, last I heard. Yeah. And their kids are obviously still alive because they're still, in their 30s.
Yeah.
So I think it's like you were talking about. There is a cemetery about a mile down the road, straight down the road here. Not the road in front of the house. I live on a dead end dirt road, but just down a couple of houses is the highway, Cane Creek Road.
Yeah.
And go down it about a mile, and you will see a very small cemetery. Now, if you go by the way the crow flies, which will be this way, not by, as a crow flies, you have to go down the road, go down to the next left, take the left, and go all the way down the end of that road. But if you take this road here and travel down it here and go up this way to the close to about halfway down the road through the woods, there is a rather large cemetery.
Oh.
So by the way, crow flies, I'm about halfway between two cemeteries.
Yeah. Yeah. So it could be from that. Then possibly, has anything, do you know if anything happened like history wise on the land? I know you're in Arkansas, so
yes,
with that possibility.
Definitely Native American country. We supposedly have a Native American graveyard on the opposite end of town. This is about 12 miles away, even by the way the crow flies.
Yeah.
I've never been there because it's private property. There was a small Civil War battle a few miles away.
So there could be some energy.
It could be some energy. And on the bayou, down Follow Me Bayou, there used to be, in fact, the last steamship was on the bayou in 1910.
Oh.
So it has steamboat action.
Yeah.
And during the Civil War, down in Louisiana, the same bayou is the longest bayou in the world. It goes from Pine Bluff, Arkansas, down to a lake in the middle of Louisiana. And about halfway to the Arkansas border from that lake, the Union, during the Civil War, sank a small steamer in the bayou to block it.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so there's some history in your area then.
Yes, there's a little bit of history. One woman always says rape.
Yeah.
And I asked her once, were you raped? And she said yes.
Oh.
One guy, there's also a prison, state prison, a few miles away. Yeah, I'm talking about 20, 25 miles away.
Yeah.
And somebody says prison. So maybe it's a kind of a notorious prison. Several people have died in that prison. And I think maybe one person who died in that prison comes by here.
Oh, maybe.
The girl says raped. She's obviously deceased. I don't know when she was raped. She will not give me a date.
Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely some history in your area.
Well, this was a dead zone. The first 2 or 3 times I tried to do ghost sessions, I got nothing. Absolutely nothing. This was a dead zone. But I started doing it often enough where the local spirits started realizing, okay, there's voices coming through here. There's a little bit of a portal opened up. Let's go see what it's about. And the next thing you know, I got 0 people coming by for weeks. And suddenly I got 6, 7, 8 spirits in my living room.
Wow.
Now, once I tried to do have you ever done this? Where you had a guest on the show. You have another guest, a second guest. And you try to do a 3-way ghost box session. You ever done that?
I've never done that. No.
If you ever do, be careful. Greg Cost does his Estes method, where they're in different places in the country doing the Estes method together.
Oh.
So he's used to dealing with this. Ghosts can go through the internet. If we're connected, you're talking, a spirit wanting to move between me and you. Because remember, this is a live show, not a recorded.
Yeah.
Could go from your place to mine, or from my place to yours.
Yeah.
Because one night, I was that night I was doing it, several spirits from the guest came through. And when I asked them to leave, they were in the living room, and all of a sudden they come walking in here. I'm in the den. That's where my studio is.
Yeah.
Here they come parading through the door and walking up to my wife's computer, which is just a few feet over here. And they were trying to go through the screen and weren't having any luck because her computer was shut down.
Oh.
They got close to the screen expecting to shoot through it.
Yeah.
And they couldn't do it because it was off.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, stop. It was about 4 or 5 spirits standing there. I said, let me get out of your way and go through my computer. So I just left the room, stood out in the hallway, and they all moved to my computer and disappeared.
Oh. Wow.
So be careful if you ever do that.
Yeah.
I think Greg knows how to handle it. So be prepared if you ever do that.
Yeah.
Because they can get through there. So beware anybody watching. See, before that, we only had a walkthrough. I think it was the guy who used to hunt here. Down in not the next lot, got a neighbor there, but the next lot is empty except for an old hunting lodge. It's broken down. It's obviously the oldest building on this road. And I think that's all that was here. Before the dirt road was put in, I think they had a hunting lodge there.
Yeah.
And I think you had people walking up and down this hill hunting deer. We still have a lot of deer here. In fact, that night I was talking about, there was 3 or 4 deer walking around my yard.
No.
And so he has a certain smell of a tobacco, either pipe tobacco or a cigar.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Or maybe a roll your own kind of aroma to it.
Yeah.
And sometimes we'd be sitting watching TV and all of a sudden there goes our walkthrough. Because it wasn't, I don't think it was an intelligent spirit.
Oh, you don't?
Mm-mm.
You think it was more a residual?
Yeah, I believe it was residual. Oh, we need to do our producer a little favor. Would you believe we've already done an hour 15?
Oh, yeah, the time has flown by.
Time flies when you're having fun.
Oh, yes.
Now, is there anything we need to cover with you tonight? Anything else?
No, I think we've kind of went over quite a bit. I think we told everybody where we could find me. I think we went over my recent activities. I'm currently just kind of trying to get my name out there a little bit more, and grow is my goal for this year. And next year I'm hoping to do a few more Paracons. Really hoping to get into that a little bit more. I did the Vermont one this past April with Nate, and I hosted a panel with Adam Barry and Nate and a few other people. But yeah, I'm hoping next year to do a few more of those. So,
well, if you can, next June, come down to the Uranus Paracon. It'd be June instead of the end of July next year.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he's already talking to 2 or 3 people who may be willing to sponsor.
Oh, nice.
They didn't want to do it the first year. You know how people are a little skittish about first year Paracons.
Yeah.
And so they said, we can't help you this year, but in your second year and definitely your third, we can be there for you.
Yeah.
So it should be a bigger, better, and sponsored Paracon next year.
That'd be great.
If you can come down there in June next year.
Yeah.
I'm trying to push this stuff because you're still blaming everything on me. to the point where he said when he writes out a check to pay for whatever, he's thinking, and sometimes saying out loud, "Fuck Len."
Well, I thank you for having me on tonight, and
I appreciate you being there.
It's been a great chat. I too have to be up at, I have to be up at 5:30, but but I've had a great time, and time just flew by.
Yes, it did. Do a couple little ads, and you get chit chat back and forth. The next thing you know, we've done an hour and a half show.
Yeah,
time flies when having fun. I think you and I both do our separate shows on different networks, whatever. But I think you and I both have fun with these things.
Oh yeah,
you seem to thoroughly enjoy yourself with it.
I do. I enjoy chatting with people.
It is fun. Anybody some people can't do it.
Yeah,
I've met some people who can't even appear on a podcast. They're too nervous.
Yeah, don't bother me.
You got to dive into the pool sometimes.
Yep.
And I'd just say anybody who has not appeared on a podcast, contact me or you or Ann, and appear on both shows. And we'll help you if it's your first time. We'll help steer you through it. Sometimes shit happens, sometimes it doesn't.
Yep.
You just laugh it off and just try to have a good time.
Oh yeah, that's the best thing. Is just to have a good time when you're on, either you're hosting or you're a guest.
Exactly. Either way. And that's why I tell people, if you're not having fun in the paranormal, you're doing it wrong.
Yep.
So, well, Jeremy, we'll try to wrap it on up, and it's been great. And people can contact you by looking up your name on Facebook.
Yep, or the Common Historian on YouTube.
And Instagram is which one? Your name or the historian?
Common Historian on Instagram, and I think it's also, you can find me with TikTok as well, and also on Threads now as the Common Historian.
What?
On Threads.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah.
That new one, Threads, I hadn't dealt with yet. I think my wife has a Threads account. She wants me to look at it sometime. Maybe I will.
But
I could spend 5 minutes with the wife, couldn't I?
Yep.
Nah.
Well, I thank you. It's been a great show.
Jeremy, it's been a lot of fun. And I think with you having to get up early, and I think Sean having to get up early, we're going to forgo the post show chit chat. We're just going. I haven't had supper, so I've got some barbecue in there. I'm fixing to heat that up and make me a nice barbecue sandwich.
Oh, that sounds good.
About this big around, and about this much meat on it.
Yeah. Wow.
Oh yeah, it's a $7 or $8 sandwich. You go to a barbecue restaurant.
Sounds delicious.
I do my own Boston butts, and Gail, she's got some Wolverine claws, and she just gets in there and just shreds it.
Yeah.
So or we sit there and slice it up in these little cubes, but we make our own barbecue sandwiches. The hell we're going out.
Yeah.
Sorry about that restaurant industry, but only when we're out of town. Now in New Orleans, we're going to be eating out.
Yeah.
But I guarantee you, we're going to be hitting some seafood gumbo and some beignets.
Yeah.
In the morning. Well, Jeremy, I hope you have a fantastic time when you're in New Orleans in June.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Try to hit Chris and Jennifer up if you can, to see if they're available for a ghost hunt. Because if especially if they put you in the Voodoo Shop or the Andrew Jackson, it will be fun for you.
Okay. Yeah, I'll have to look into it.
They're good people. If you say I want to go on a tour, they'd say what night. They're nice. They're nice folks. Easy to talk to.
Yeah.
Plus, they can be guests for your show. You can always say, "Hey, you want to be on my show sometime?"
Yeah, yeah, very, very true.
All right, well, you take care of yourself.
Yeah, you too. Thank you.
Tell the family I said hello.
I will.
All right. Say goodnight, Jeremy.
Night.
You're supposed to say goodnight, Jeremy.
Good night, Jeremy.
See you next time.
Yep.
And that's what I'm going to say to everybody. Good night, everybody. And just remember, the paranormal never sleeps. We like to cut up a lot too.